Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher's Circus. Today, it might look like we have a very normal match against Mr. D, one of our favorite opponents. It looks like I'm playing the hit squad, Mr. D is just playing kind of a Vestal stress team here, an interesting one, stress DOT kind of mix. But I'm not really playing the hit squad. As you might have noticed from today's title, I'm playing with the worst possible trinkets. I have Madman's Collar, Sanity's Bane, I have Ank of Life Nepenthe on 2 characters, like literal garbage, and then the Arbalist is gonna have the Snuff and Bloodstained Gamson. I'm gonna go over all these trinkets in just a bit, but we rolled into the match and Misery just said good luck, have fun, and I said I'll try. And yeah, the abilities are all fine, the positions are all fine, the characters are still pretty strong, but you know, I have Madman's Scholar, which only does anything if I'm afflicted, and half the time you're not going to be afflicted. Sanity's Bane only does anything if the enemy is afflicted, and half the time the enemy isn't going to be afflicted. Right now I have basically nothing actually doing anything on this flatulent. And I can't even stun the Man-at-Arms because he has 120% stun resistance, so I can forget about that. Instead I'm just going to try stunning this Crusader and fail because my stun chance isn't too good, but you know, we do have the Ank of Life, so if we do drop to this store, we're gonna have some nice death blow resistance and some nice dodge, even though it's not even close to enough to make a difference, but yeah. And we also have Nepenthe, which, you know, is probably the best of all these terrible trinkets, because Nepenthe does actually give you Virtue Chance and minus Stress Taken, which are both pretty nice. And yeah, we're gonna use our Flagellant here. Wish I kind of had Reign of Sorrows, but I'm just gonna drop a punish on the enemy Flagellant. We're not even gonna afflict him anytime soon, because, you know, he actually has the good trinket, so even with a punish we're not doing stress. So yeah, that's gonna be rough. But our Arbalist is quite a tanky Arbalist, because we have Bloodstained Gambeson, which isn't a bad trinket per se, but I didn't just want to bring Sanity's Bane again. I didn't want to do that, so I just brought Bloodstained Gambeson, which is not as terrible as people think it is, but it's also not good at all. So yeah, and we have Exotic Snuff, which is a good trinket, but I just decided to bring it because it can be bad sometimes, and it's fun to joke around that it's a bad trinket. So we have it here. It's not like I don't have a massive handicap on me by having a basically useless Flagellant and having 2 Crusaders that have basically nothing going for them. So yeah. The Crusader is gonna get stunned here. Would be nice if I actually had Numbing Incense, but you know, that's actually a good trinket, so using that would be unfair. But one thing I can do right now that might actually work out pretty well for me is I can drop another Sniper Shot here. So even with the Exotic Snuff, reducing our accuracy by 4, we're getting quite lucky to hit that Grave Robber as much as we are. And at this point, Mr. D kind of has to make a decision here, because that Grave Robber isn't in a great spot, because she doesn't have Rejuvenation, right? She might just get guarded here, but after a guard I still have Caltrops. It's only a 25% chance of getting the death blow, but I suppose there's just going to be a stun onto my Bounty Hunter instead. So that's 2 stunned characters, and that's your favorite Shepherd Doggy having a bad time here. Well, one thing we can do is just drop a punish on the Man-at-Arms. I have a feeling that we're gonna have to do this anyway, just to bleed him a bit, so we're gonna do that. It would be nice if we get a stun on the enemy Flagellant eventually, like after his action now, and maybe if he goes for an early Reign of Sorrows next round, we can do that, and after a punish, maybe a Zealous, we might be able to take him out. That would be really, really good, but I'm not sure if it will happen. Well, we just have to pass twice now. The stun team is getting stunned pretty hard, just Vestal things I suppose. This is an interesting team that Mr. D actually has here. It wouldn't do too well against Shield Breaker. Its dodge isn't really too significant, but it's a decent team. It's got stuns, right? You just can't go wrong with stuns, and it has a lot of DOT and stress output from these 2 characters, so it's not too easy to deal with. So Mr. D just changes the guard here, but that does open up Caltrip's death blow, even though it's very unlikely, and it also opens up a stun onto the Vestal. I'm gonna stun the Vestal first before I get stunned myself, and we'll take it from there. Yeah, is there a redeem available just yet? No, there isn't. Okay, that's just gonna be an immediate click, and I think I'm gonna go for the lucky. I might just do 0 damage, you know, that is the potential. I might do damage but not get the death blow, and it looks like I didn't even do damage, which is pretty sad, but what can you do about it? We didn't get to bleed either, which is unlucky, but she's at this door anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'm not too sure. The flagellant here is dropping quite a bit, but he is being a bit risky here. I do get to go first by the start of next round. It would be nice if we got like a punish crit for 13, but I don't think punish can even roll for that much right now. You know, if I had the plus 25% damage that Madman Scholar should give you, yeah, it would be good. It would be really nice if this trinket just made you have that bleed chance and that damage, but just give you some really terrible downsides. Well, because you're a madman, right? You become just a really squishy character, but also has really powerful abilities. Like, that would be good. Because having to rely on getting afflicted, it just sucks. Even against stress teams, having to rely on getting afflicted sucks, because you're much better off. And I mean much better off just taking Gauntlet of Absolution, not getting afflicted at all, right? I'm just gonna drop a sniper shot here on the Vestal. Yeah, we're doing small amounts of damage. There isn't even protection on there, and we're still doing basically no damage. I'm not too sure if I can win this. If I took out that Grave Robber with the Caltrops, I'd be in a prime position to win. But not having done that, well, yeah, this won't be too easy. One thing I can do, though, is that I can drop a stun onto this flagellant right now. Let's see, 45 going twice, and yes, we get a stun this time, which is great. We no longer have the Vestal stunned, but here comes the Panic Darts. It does get the death on me. I think the stress was going to take me out anyway, so it's not like I can complain all that much. And I no longer have my finisher character, which is bad. Okay. Decisions. This is a very important turn. We need to get a kill somewhere. Yeah, we need to get a kill somewhere. Either the Flagellant or the Grave Robber. Hopefully both. If we do take out both, then we definitely win this match, because there's no way a Vestal and the Man-at-Arms can win on their own. The idea behind the team that Mr. D is playing is that these characters are just stunning and being disruptive and also supportive, and then the other two characters are just destroying your side. So it does make sense that you'd have Reign of Sorrows on there. So right now, I might just go for the death blow here. We don't take it. Yeah, we don't even have a finisher on our side. So, a finisher there, like a finish onto that Grave Robber right there would have just been amazing. But yeah, we're not gonna take that. Right now, there's gonna be a Divine Comfort. That's gonna be a solid heal onto the Flagellant, and he has a lot of stun resistance. He still has his healing, and I just don't think there's any way I win this. I'm gonna try killing this Vestal. Maybe I can get a nice crit on her with the sniper shot and then a punish just for the death blow, but oh, I really don't think so. I'm looking for any reason to keep playing this match, but I'm just gonna get afflicted right now. I'm gonna be at this door. If I had Virtue and Gauntlet of Absolution, yeah, we could actually play this. I don't know, maybe there's a chance. Very small for sure, but maybe there is a chance. I'm gonna click here and I'm just gonna heal myself with Selfish. If Selfish passes, I'll just surrender. No, that's just some stress. Okay, not the end of the world. Also, you could have guessed that playing with terrible trinkets would get you terrible results, right? Yeah, even if you're playing with a good team. If your trinkets are bad, you're not gonna have a good time. You can't bypass protection or guard, you can't do a lot of things that you'd normally be able to. With this team, you also don't have good pulling chances, you don't have good killing potential, you don't have a lot of damage, you don't have good stuns, you don't have virtue chance, you don't have the OP Flagellant. It's just really difficult to play if you do not have the correct trinkets. So I stress teams would actually, this would probably be better if I was playing a stress team than a damage team. I say probably, but yeah, for sure it would be better. And maybe not against what I'm playing here, because Gauntlet of Absolution would be tough to deal with. But GG to Mr. D, and we're gonna try this again, but with a stress team. And put on horrible trinkets as well, see how it goes. Alright, and here we go, on to a match number 2, and this time we have a little bit of a different team idea, so instead of just playing with the worst trinkets, I'm playing with kind of weird trinkets now. And when I mean weird, what I mean by weird is just playing with trinkets that have a lot of protection that wouldn't do very well in a lot of matchups, but in this matchup it will, because I specifically asked Mr. D to play damage, and he fell right into it. And by fell right into it, I just mean that, you know, he did what I asked, so thank you very much. So yeah, instead of playing with the worst possible trinkets, which was not very fun, we're gonna play with a lot of protection and see just how good it is. Now, there's gonna be two ways around this ton of protection for Mr. D. One of them is called Piercing Quarrel, with the armor piercing plus 20%, and the other is called Harvest, which we just saw, which does a very decent amount of damage onto my characters. Here I'm just gonna drop a Slam on the Crusader. I'd rather eat a Holy Lance than eat a stun at this point, because I do have a lot of protection and HP on everyone. And I really do, look at this, 52 HP on the Crusader, 60 prot. 47 HP on the Abomination, that's 10 more HP than he usually has, and 40 prot. 59 total HP on the Man-at-Arms, and 35 prot. It isn't very much, but once he guards, it's gonna be way more. And do I want to guard immediately? Or do I want to go for something else? There's no accuracy buffs on my opponent's side. I might go Bolster, but I think that would be kind of a troll move. So instead I'm just gonna drop a Bellow here, because you can't go wrong with bellowing, right? Get the debuffs. Yes, that's really good. Oh, Bellow debuffs plus all this protection. It's fantastic, yeah. That Holy Lance tickled. Usually a Holy Lance against an Abomination hurts quite a bit, you know, you're kind of scared of it, but that one just did like 9 damage. And I bet that was a high roll. Yeah, I bet that was a high roll as well. I'm gonna go for the Houndsary here, which surprisingly hits 3 characters, despite me having literally no accuracy against the plus 15 dodge. Yeah, here comes the sniper shot. It still crits us for 17. That's still a pretty big amount, not gonna lie, but we're gonna stay alive because, look, we ate a Harvest, a Bleed, a Holy Lance, a sniper shot crit, and we're still at 9 HP, which isn't even enough to just get down from Finale right now. So I'm gonna drop the Beast Smile here and stay tanky and stay frosty. Now, it would be a lot better, of course, if you were playing this team, which is a very solid team, by the way. If you're playing this team with Writ of Execution and, well, I guess the Man-at-Arms is fine right now. If you were playing without Gladiator's Helm, just play out with Attack Whistle or something. But Fighter's Helm is a doable choice on the Houndmaster, but it's a weird one. And of course, the Abomination should 100% have the Wretch's Cloak, because when he would transform, he would apply one more round of horror to the enemy characters, and it would give him more stress health, would give him more more accuracy in the number of 10, and that would be obviously very, very good. One thing I can do right now is just guard, but I really don't want to guard. After a Finale, do we win? I don't want to play that out. I don't want to get Finale'd here, let's be honest. Do I think a heal is the play? Like, a heal is an interesting play here, just dropping a heal. But I think I'm just gonna guard. I think guarding here is smarter. I'm gonna have a lot of protection on my Man-at-Arms now. If you try hitting him, you're gonna do like 0 damage. And if you still go for Harvest, you're still gonna eat a Riposte. So I'm happy with this. And the Leper is pretty much useless right now, because he has only a bit more damage from that Revenge. If he goes for a chop on the Crusader, I'm willing to bet he doesn't even crit for like 20. Yeah, he hits for 10. He would probably crit for like 17 or something, which tickles. It absolutely tickles. It's so cool to look at this. It really is. I'm gonna drop another Houndsary now. And yes, we're doing stress slowly but surely. My opponent is having a bad time here. And let's be completely clear here. Even though I asked Mr. D to play damage, he's playing a good damage team. He's playing the Goliath comp. Of course it has the problem of not being able to deal with protection very well, but yeah, this is definitely a very high protection team, but you know, it's still a very competent team, a team that you see a lot of good players bring, and we're doing quite well against it, which I'm happy about. Let's see, there's going to be a Harvest now. It does do 1 damage, and it doesn't drop me to 0. I still had 2 HP. Oh, I didn't even notice I had 2 HP. That's so cool. I could drop a Zealous here, but I'd rather not, actually. I'm gonna drop a heal on the Abomination. But Shep, you could drop Zealous, maybe do a lot of stress to the Jester? Yes, but if I drop a heal right now, the Abomination won't drop the Death Star on his own, and if I drop a Zealous next round, I will actually hit that Crusader. And, you know, if I drop the Zealous against the Jester, I would miss. But if I drop a Zealous against the Crusader, I actually have a pretty good hit chance, and as you can see, that's a lot of stress being dealt. Holy Lance missed against my doggy because I still have that $15, but even if it hit like 36 HP, 50 prot, 1 bellow debuff, it wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't do anything, yeah. It would hit me for like 9 again. So here comes the stunning blow onto the Man-at-Arms, very likely to stun, and yes, it does cause that stun. But it's not the end of the world, not yet at least. I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna drop a Houndsary. in case that leopard does want to act, so he will hopefully go afflicted, but we don't do quite enough stress. Crusader, please don't go virtuous. He goes abusive, that's really good for me actually. He can stun another character, hopefully the Arbalest so she doesn't flare it. Yeah, that would be really good. And he also has -5 accuracy now. He does get some extra damage, but he's not really the main damage dealer here, so I'm not overly preoccupied about that. I do drop to this store here, and there was no point guarding with the doggy because that would just be a Dirk Stab, right? Well, no, maybe I should have guarded with the doggy. Yeah, maybe I should have guarded with the doggy just to prevent me from dying immediately. Please don't get the death blow. Oh, that is lucky. That is lucky. That should not have happened. That really should not have happened. And right now I'm gonna go for the double block. Okay, if I get this slam now on the leper, I'm literally swimming in RNG. Wow. That's nasty. That is really nasty. Okay, I survived the 60% death blow, and I go for a slam and get the 25% move. It's just so freaking nasty. Okay, you know what? Before you go on the tournament matches, because there will be a tournament happening soon, before you do that, go into ladder, play a shit-ass team with shit-ass trinkets, and your RNG will improve for the next match. It is proven scientifically, as you can see right here. I will just click and heal myself. Come on, give me a crit heal to top it off. Give me a crit heal for 26. I really want it. Ah, it's only 13. Even then, 13 is way too much for my opponent to deal with right now. Yeah, Viper in position 3. You totally have to finale. You have to finale ASAP. But you don't do that much damage with finale. With against 40% protection, your damage is almost halved. You can't even finale right now. You only have plus 100% damage, which means you probably typically do like 12 or 13 to 22, but against his protection, yeah, your max roll might as well be 14 or something, so you have to hope for a crit. Crit please, says Mr. D, and yeah, that's a 9. And GG, I suppose. Look at this, the team is in perfect shape pretty much. And yeah, that was a pretty funny one. That was a pretty funny one. If you do know that you're gonna play against damage teams, just bring full on prot and have a good time. Now, I will say, if you're playing against a damage team that has a flagellant, and you know, there's more than a couple of them, if you're playing against a damage team that has a flagellant, you're gonna have a little bit more of a rough time, because he can just punish through your protection, so that's not gonna be too much fun. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed these silly matches. I sure did, especially the second one. And I'll see you again another time. Cheers.